Good day. It is a foggy morning here. It feels like spring. I do love mornings like this when the view is obscured by the fog. It's as if the picture book I live in, someone's erased or smeared the background. I'm hoping you can see the geese coming in just here by the rock. And if you can just make it out in the distance, is the flat rock where Algernon has his morning breakfast, the seagull. And can you see the geese going by? They will soon disappear into the fog, but just behind them is the flat rock with the water just breasting the top. And Algie is patiently sitting there, guarding his coveted spot. And even though I do love an open, bright, sunny view, of course, on a foggy morning like this, you can just hear the birds in the distance, their plaintive cry coming through the fog. It's quite magical. And the geese gliding along the surface. The geese are winter friends. I think on an overcast day like today, it's the perfect day to head down Cape and go to an antique mart. So let's head to the Dennis Antique Mart and go out for a fun day of thrifting. And we've arrived at our destination, the Dennis Antiques Mart, and there are 3 buildings. So let's pop into the first one and see what fun things we can find. So I think just like my last shopping trip, I will talk some, but also be quiet some so we can just have a good look around. I think, again, as many more things are happening that people are not allowed to go out and go shopping, that maybe just having a chance to look around a bit would be enjoyable. I do love these vintage Santas. This is a lovely slip as well. I could even wear that as a nightgown. It's a sweet little yellowware bowl. Oh, I love that old watering can and galvanized. Do you like how I said I'm not going to talk, but here I am talking? This darling little squirrel. So sweet. Another fun vintage. It's a little gnome made from a pine cone. 12 isn't too bad for that. Now this is a vast place, and oh, I have to look at this plate. It's so, oh, that's so beautiful. Looks Italian. At $450, I think it's an actual antique. I love this. Actually belted, I would wear this. It's only 16, but unfortunately as much as it's nice to wear polyester because it's wash and wear, sometimes it doesn't always agree with me. That's something to think about. Now this place is vast, and there are 3 buildings, and we're in the main building, and it is vendors, so I'm not sure how many. I would have to say at least 30 to 40 vendors maybe. So each vendor, you know, specializes in something specific. Oh, I love this. Is that Tang Dynasty? That ivory horse. But, you know, it's a mix of things. However, because it is Cape Cod, even the more thrifted finds will still be rather overpriced here, unfortunately. But sometimes I do find treasures. Lovely glassware. Oh, this is nice. This is actually quite collectible in this area. Let's see what they have it priced at. $245. Yes, so Hadleyware, which is this type of pottery with this specific painting. I should do something on Hadleyware sometime. But that was probably only $245 because it had a missing lid, or a replaced lid. I love this little painting. $350. But again, if it's if you know it's from a specific time period, that's why you do pay more. I thought this is a pretty little piece. Possibly the boathouse. $675. It is 18th century, but a little out of my budget. Lovely oak though. And I love anything metal and garden. I love this chair. This would be great for oak kings. $425. It is the right time period though. I would love, I've always fantasized about if old kings were ever just for me to keep as my little pleasure place, which it isn't necessarily. I always imagined slowly replacing it with things from late 16th to like the mid 1700s, with maybe a Chesterfield or something comfortable thrown in, but dreams are free, as they say. Some Wedgwood. I think I got rather a steal on the 2 Wedgwood plates I got at the church sale this summer, which I took you along with me to. The Delftware. And though I love blue and white, I love the green Delftware, that sort of putty green. Some lovely sterling. You could see that, full of caviar. And the pretty ruby glass. This is pretty with it's like an apple blossom or maybe a cherry blossom. Can't quite get it to focus. So I suppose we can forget what I said before about me being quiet while we enjoy our shop. I can't help but talk. Some blue and white. I actually do need another little blue and white creamer. I mean, this isn't antique or anything, but $11 isn't too bad. So you can see this is quite an interesting mix. It really depends. Each bay belongs to a vendor. I think some vendors have a larger area. I thought this American Arts mermaid weather vane was really beautiful. I didn't focus. It was about $1,200. This funny bowl, which is probably maybe 20s to mid-century, $50 with the little frogs on. There are usually some cute little kitchen things over here. Oh, I love this little cabinet. This would be so sweet for doing the kitchen in the boathouse. I know it's quite twee, but I really want it to be sweet and darling out there. Why won't this focus? But look, that's only $140 for this pine cabinet. I'm going to have to consider that because there's a spot where I'm going to be making over, when I can make over the boathouse kitchen. Wouldn't that be adorable? And it's also not precious enough that I could just paint the inside a different color to show up dishes on. Lovely towel rack. Oh, this is a sweet little cabinet. Although I have a really similar cabinet to this that I may use when I do the bathroom in the boathouse. $155. Wouldn't this be sweet, either in a kitchen or in a bathroom, I think. I love this fabric. It would be lovely as a hanging or on a bed, a quilt rack. It's $100. So you could probably get it, well, I know you can get it for $90 because whenever you see a tag like that, when you see the little X on the top of a tag to the right, whenever you see an X with a number next to it, that's the dealer letting the person who's running the shop for the day know that they'd be willing to go down as much as 10 below the asking price if they can't get in touch with him. But again, a lot of the things here are very much like you would find at a thrift shop as opposed to an antique shop, but yet still some of the things are kind of overpriced. I thought this coffee pot was really pretty, or chocolate pot, I'm not sure which. But see, $68 for just the one cup. Or if I were to find that at a tag sale or at the church sale, it would probably be about $10. I loved this. This is like the perfect size big coffee mug for me of a morning, but I thought it was a little overpriced. $65. But it actually looked like it was 19th century. I love these little, these are a dime a dozen, these little chickens. But I think they would be sweet to have a couple in the boathouse. I'm going to go very twee and cutesy cottage there. I love the plates with the these pheasant. I forget what these pheasant are called. Golden pheasants, I believe. I once thought about hatching them because people do hatch them and keep them same as much as the way as you keep a peacock. They're a little less noisy, but again, I would have to keep it penned because we have so many fox and coyote. Another Hadleyware mug. I thought this bode was adorable because although this isn't technically, it's a grouse, not a quail, I thought it would be sweet. I would love to do quail and fish plates decoratively, like for wall decorations in the boathouse. I loved this early painting. It wasn't signed, but they knew it was assigned to a specific school. Let's see if I can focus. Thomas Sully, so 1870s, I think it was. It was a beautiful lamp as well. Lots of Toby jugs. Oh, I think a commenter had wanted to know if I knew that the little headed jugs were called Toby jugs, or they were called Toby jugs in the UK, and they're also called that here as well. Lots of clocks. Just a pretty little marble top stand. Oh yes, this pudding tin was nice, but I couldn't believe the price. I have probably 3 or 4 pudding tins, and normally I use them. Stir up Sunday and get the Christmas pudding ready for the year, but I didn't do it this year because with only 2 of us it was pointless. I thought this was a really pretty cheese plate. Again, $135, so you can see the prices are not really thrift store prices here, even though it is an antique shop, but there's a bit of a thrift shop feel to it. More Toby jugs. A pretty sweet collection. I like this Shakespeare one at the far right. Kind of looking out over to see how vast this building is. There is an upstairs as well. Just a quick pan over it. I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'll probably come here on multiple days, and I'll probably do visits here again. And once it gets warmer, and hopefully once things open up more little jugs. A Dickens, it looks like. I love the older woman ones. Oh, Staffordshire dog. I thought these were really adorable. See if I can get this to focus. $250. It would be worth a trip here just to go through all the books. This is a pretty good collection. There's some first and second editions, and also just nice ephemera in this booth. We also have a couple of wonderful old bookstores on the Cape that I'm going to take us to as well. Parnassus is one on 6A we passed once. I love these prints. They look, I think they're Audubon. So up here, this is the second floor, and they often have more like furniture pieces, and again it has that more of a thrift store tag sale feel. And sometimes you can find a bargain. Actually, that blue and white striped sofa and love seat was actually quite nice. I love this piece here. I just haven't a place for it right now. It's at 50% off. This, I know, is super sugary and it's almost too twee for me, but just because it's a bunny, I couldn't help but look at it. It is a teapot. I think it almost crossed the sweetness border for me, but I don't know. If it were cheaper, I probably would consider it for Bunny Hall. More blue and white. I love the teapot. Lots of little creamers. This is beautiful, this cut piece. See if I can staple my stabilizer. This statue is really interesting. Be fun to have it in the garden. I like how he's holding the poinsettia to ward off the Scrooges, I suppose. Let's see if I can see the price here. $5,500. Well out of my price range, but it is pretty lovely, and obviously Poseidon is a great statue to have in a garden by the sea. Oh, I love this. Now, I'm so jealous at Lalonde whenever I see that they get fish plates so affordably there, and I've been covetous of sets of fish plates forever, because obviously living on the water, I really, really want to start collecting up fish plates and dinner sets with fish on, but they're always so expensive. As an example, $850 for this Rosenthal set of, I think it was 6 plates and a platter. And I could never condone spending that much money on fish plates. As I've said to commenters, how I keep myself from overspending is when I enter places like this, I say to myself a little mantra of boathouse roof, and main house windows. And that keeps me, keeps a tight check on my pocketbook. We have to do the practical before the pleasurable. I love stiff animals, and this sweet stiff bear, but again, I mean bear, elephant, but 640 is also, but that alligator bag is a dream. I would love that bag. These are beautiful little shoes as well. And some adorable tins. More blue and white. An Uncle Sam bag. I think this platter is unique. I don't think it's very old. It's probably like the 50s or the 70s, but I liked how it had the pattern in the center, almost like a plate within a platter. That's kind of interesting. Of course, there's always Cape Cod souvenirs from ages past. I can't believe, I think I have this book at home, but I'm not 100% sure, but I had forgotten about this book. Okay, so what happened is there are two other buildings, and I found out that the other two are closed. They're just understaffed, and I felt really bad because I really want to go. This is my favorite building. This is the third of the three outside buildings, so I can't get in there, but often there are better bargains inside. But I can at least show you some of the fun. They always have fun garden things outside, statuary and chairs and things. I've even purchased old stained glass windows here. There's an old stone urn, shutters, things like that. You know, it's a mix of old and new. The lobster and the fish cutouts are probably made local by craftsmen and then just left to rust to look aged, and then, you know, the Roman bust is probably older. But it's just an interesting look. I actually kind of like these sort of 50s metal chairs. I love outdoor metal, but I'm always torn because they do last, but because we have salt air, they're almost as fragile as wood furniture here. I love that lintel. That would be great to design a garden around or to put in the house. So yes, I'm sad, but that's all right because I'm going to come back here again, and we're going to go in this building. And there's also another little outbuilding now that is definitely a junk shop. And in there you can get really good prices. You can find like an old rusted typewriter for $10 or things like that, just because it's kind of their junk shop area. But I have found interesting old chairs or treasures like that. So yes, if we look back this way, this is the big building we were just in here. Oh, let's see if I can get a shot of these two. I thought they were terracotta, but I think they're rusted iron. You can see a few more busts and things on the outside. So just that weathered Cape Cod shack sort of antique place. I do like the urns at the front, and I wish we could go in. Next time, oh, there's a stained glass window, some old bikes. I love these chimney pots. I like the one with the crown. I would love to do English chimney pots if we ever get to really do the boathouse over and fix up the chimneys. And here's a big statue. But you can see a lot of just random things, like this old Winthrop desk out here is obviously not anything treasured, or it wouldn't be sitting out in the elements. But that's the type of thing you probably could get for $50 and then just have fun painting it up. I think this is kind of interesting to see the vines, and I'll give you one guess what that vine is. If you think you can guess what that vine is and it's my nemesis, put it in the comments and you will get 1 point. But yes, an interesting mix. A 1970s Coke paraphernalia next to an old metal garden statue. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little trip, but this is getting quite long, so I think we'll hop back in the car and I will take us back here another day. But let's just head home and end this video. So I didn't get that big of a haul, I just got a few things, but as I'm showing them to you, I have to show you the cutest thing. Are you watching? Una. How adorable is Una? She loves that little house. She loves it. Come on, Una. So, these are the things I got. I actually got a set. Come here, Una, sit on my shoulder. These are I got a set of these pretty blue. They are Spode, or Spode's Tower. They're Copeland, England. So they're probably not that old, but it was a good price, and I got a set of 4 of these, and I really do think it's a pretty pattern. And then I couldn't resist the sweet, if some of you recall my previous video, when we went to Country Garden in Hyannis, I bought the cutest little sheep with wheels. And so this looks like a sweet little vintage one. And it was only $8, so I had to add that to my collection. Now obviously for Christmas, but this will stay out because I love miniature animals, so this will stay out year round. So I got a set of 4 of those and this. But this I was happy to see because I had forgotten about this book, and I couldn't remember if I had it in my library or if I had taken it out of the library years ago. But this is a book called That Quail, Robert, and it's about this couple who found and raised a wild bobwhite quail, and they lived here on Cape Cod. And I had completely forgotten about this book. And as I was walking around, I saw this book, and I thought, oh, it's kismet. I have to get that book. Even if I already had it, I thought, I'm trying to support the local business as much as I can. If I end up having a second copy, I'll lend one to a friend. So again, I didn't spend a lot. I didn't get a lot, but I'm trying to spread it around as much as possible this Christmas season. But these are adorable. And isn't this the sweetest little sheep? And it just had this little ribbon tied on, which I'll keep on for Christmas, but I'll probably take that off when I display it year-round. It'll probably go in my studio. And how adorable is Una in her little house. I discovered that by accident because I was trying to film her on the windows ledge, and she just went in there from the back side because it actually faces the other way, and you put a candle in there. But she just went in, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's the sweetest little house. I mean, look how cute it is. She's pretty amiable. Mainly, she just likes to sit on my shoulders and snuggle under my hair. But I hope that the light is picking up. Look at how beautiful her wings are becoming. She's going to be the most beautiful bluey gray color. I'm pretty excited. That's her. She wants to sit on my shoulders. I didn't get a lot today, but I'm happy with my purchases. A set of new blue and white cups, Spode style anyway, a darling sheep to add to my animal collection, and this amazing book to reread about a Cape Cod couple who raised a quail. How fitting is that? Well, I hope you enjoyed today's outing, and I think we did pretty good, and I'm hoping all of you will have a lovely day. And remember, stay creative. Tell them to stay creative, Una. Una says, stay creative.